January 22nd marked the 46th anniversary of Roe v. Wade, the Supreme Court decision which legalized abortion across the United States. Every year, hundreds of thousands of people travel to Washington, D.C. to participate in a peaceful protest, the March for Life, with the world's largest pro-life event. Thank you for your prayers for the students, chaperones, and myself, who are among those who made this pilgrimage to the March for Life this year. This year's theme for the March for Life was unique from day one. This theme attests to the fact that being pro-life is not in opposition to science. Quite the opposite. Medical and technological advancements continue to reaffirm the science behind the pro-life cause, that life begins at fertilization, or day one, when a new, unique human embryo is created. From the moment of fertilization, or conception, our complete DNA is present. The unique fingerprint that each of us has, distinguishing us from any other human being on the planet, is determined by that DNA at day one. Right from the beginning of life, you are becoming the incredible, unique, unrepeatable person that you are. If science so strongly supports the fact that conception is the beginning of a new human organism, how can ending that life be seen as acceptable through abortion? Once science has established that the unborn is indeed a human organism, there is a second philosophical question that must be answered. When does a human organism have intrinsic value, a right to life, or becomes a person? The pro-life position is that we should treat all human organisms, or what we normally call human beings, equally, regardless of what level of development they are currently at. So the question is, should all human beings, all human organisms, regardless of how able-bodied they are or how mentally developed they are, regardless of age, race, sex, or any other factor, should all human organisms be treated equally and have a basic right to live? If someone says no, they must give the reason why the unborn should be disqualified. For every time in history a group of human beings has been disqualified from being considered people, the reason for that disqualification has turned out to be completely bogus. While on the March for Life this year, we also visited places that help us recall several of these moments in history when a group of human beings were disqualified for false reasons. First, we visited Gettysburg National Military Park, the place of the 1863 Battle of Gettysburg during the American Civil War. From 1776 to 1865, slavery of black African people was justified by many, even using pseudo-scientific theories to claim that blacks were of a different species than whites. The Battle of Gettysburg was a turning point for the Civil War. Afterward, when President Abraham Lincoln gave his historic Gettysburg Address, he honored the fallen soldiers from that battle and called the nation to embrace the principle of equality. These events, along with the earlier Emancipation Proclamation, reshaped the Civil War cause of preserving the Union into a crusade to make men free. Ratification of the 13th Amendment in 1865 formally ended the legal institution throughout the United States. Slavery is a clear example of a group of human beings wrongly disqualified from being considered people of worth. Second, we visited the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum. The Holocaust was the systematic state-sponsored persecution and murder of 6 million Jews by the Nazi regime and its collaborators. Coming to power in 1933, the Nazis believed that Germans were racially superior, and they also used pseudo-scientific claims to argue that Jews were inferior. Before the Allied forces were able to put an end to their power, the Nazi regime exterminated nearly 2 out of every 3 European Jews as part of their final solution. The Holocaust is another clear example of a group of human beings illegitimately being disqualified from being considered people of worth. Third, we prayed at a Planned Parenthood abortion clinic, praying for those unborn humans being disqualified from life, as well as praying for those feeling trapped into making such a decision. Just because the unborn are different from born children in terms of size, level of development, dependence, and the environment in which they happen to be living, none of those are legitimate reasons for disqualifying them from being considered persons of worth. Just as the ending of the Holocaust and slavery required good people to engage in battle against evil, so too the end of abortion will require our engaging in battle against evil. We of course do not take up weapons, but instead prayer. For we are ultimately fighting not against people, but with the principalities, with the powers, with the evil spirits. The pro-life position is simply this: all human beings have an equal right to live, regardless of how old they are, how young they are, regardless of whether they live in the crib or in the womb. All human beings are equally valuable, so we protect them.